My voice is clear now, or whether there is means a network problem or something?
Yes,
No,
sir.
sir.
It is clear. Clear, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
It is
sir.
clear.
Yes, sir. Hmm?
I think now we can start because 190, more than 190 people have joined. Okay. Yes.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. Before starting the class, uh,
Hmm?
regarding class, I am going to tell something like Justice Prakash Rao sir. He is also taking 2 class every week, so it will be continue throughout the semester. Okay. So we have divided the course, and he will take like he's now on drafting and principle of drafting. Then he will go on the conveyancing. Okay, and he will cover 2 or 3 conveyancing particular deed he will cover, and after that he will shift to pleading, plant, written statement, then read petition, and all those things he will going to take. Okay, so I'm going to take the criminal part. Like today, I'm going to take the complaint part. Okay, first complaint, then other interim application, bail, and other thing. And after that, when sir will complete the conveyancing part, uh, some person he will not cover. Means some deed like gift deed, mortgage deed, he will not cover. So I will cover those things. Okay, so it is just one kind of clarification.
Okay, sir.
It is fine, na? Today we are going to take the drafting of complaint. Okay, the criminal part of the DPC. Is there any problem or is there any question you can ask regarding the means class? Because now we have 2 teacher for the DPC, so you can ask anything you have any doubt. Subsequently, we also discuss about the course, and we'll tell about what we are going to deal with. Okay. So I'm sharing the PPT. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
So today we are going to deal with the drafting of complaints. Okay. So it is under Code of Criminal Procedure or Criminal Procedure Code 1973, and it is one of the interesting subject also, because criminal means subject are always, it is very interesting, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. First, I'm going to tell something like uh, this class, the key concepts are like we are dealing with the meaning of the complaints, then distinction between the complaint and FIR, then cognizable offense, non-cognizable offense, inquiry, investigation, what is cognizance. These are the concepts which is associated with the complaint. Okay. So we are going to clear this thing because you have already know that there is CRPC, but whether you had already studied the CRPC, I think in the first year it is only IPC is there, I think, or whether you have studied the Criminal Procedure Code.
Haven't studied yet. We'll study in the upcoming semesters. IPC is also started right now, so we didn't have in the first year.
Okay, so I think these concepts are new to you, and drafting of complaint also associated with this all the concept. So I will give one brief introduction of this concept so that some idea will be there and you can implement this idea while drafting one complaint. Okay, and through the after this class you can learn that the concept associated with the complaint, and also you can draft one complaint. Okay, this is the learning outcome. So let us begin with the class. As you know, criminal cases, it is initiated with the FIR. This is we know actually, but and this when filing of cases, it is called law in motion. Means law is always in stagnant. When there is a case and someone is going to bring the law in motion, then he has two options. Okay, whether he has to go to the police station and file one FIR, lodge one FIR, or he has to go to the magistrate and file one complaint. Okay, this is the two options any individual has before means commencing the criminal procedure. Okay, first, to bring the law in motion, any individual had two options: first, complaint and FIR. Okay, then complaint is defined under section 2D. Okay, and the procedure, it is mentioned in the section 200, means how to examine the person complainant and how it is drafted. It is mentioned in section 200. Whereas FIR, it is section 154, which deal with the FIR. Okay. Now come to the first. What are the means distinction between these two things? Means these two processes are the beginning of criminal case. So let us discuss what are the distinction between these two things. First, as we know, the relevant provision, substantive provision are mentioned in the CRPC. Means procedural provision are mentioned in the CRPC. Like section 2D defines complaint. Okay, whereas FIR has not been defined, but the process of FIR, it has been incorporated under section 154 of CRPC. And the format, how to design it, how to draft it, it has mentioned in the section 200. Okay, first, complaint is to be filed in the office of the magistrate. means we are going to, if we are trying to bring the law into the motion, then first we have the option of complaint. Then we will go to the magistrate or the court, generally the magistrate, and will file one written or oral complaint. Whereas we have another option, that is the lodging of FIR, and we will go to nearby police station where the crime is committed or where the offense is committed. Now we will go to the nearby police station and we will lodge one FIR. However, we can go any police station and we can lodge FIR, because there is one concept like zero FIR also there. Means without the jurisdiction also, if we go to the police station and we will file one, we will lodge one FIR, then they will register it. Although they don't have the jurisdiction to file the record, but they will send to the appropriate jurisdiction police station, and they will also suggest that person to go there, and they will also send the FIR to the relevant police station. Okay, that is called zero FIR. So lodging of FIR, obviously it is to be lodged in the police station by the police. Now here another basic distinction is that when we are dealing with the FIR, section 154, it's telling about if there is any cognizable offense is committed, then only the police officer will record down as it is FIR. So here the concept is, what is cognizable offense? Okay, first let us know what is cognizable offense. So can anyone tell about the cognizable offense if you know about this thing earlier?
Sir, it is very heinous in nature.
Without
There is
warrant, we
no
cannot arrest them, sir.
there is no excuse for cognizable offense.
Without any warrant, we can go arrest them, sir. Cognizable offense.
It is very
Yes.
heinous in nature.
Yes. Any other means definition kind of thing?
Sir, the investigation also can be done without the permission of a court.
Yes, that is also important point. Yes, let us summarize all those things you have given answer. First, one person she said that it is one of the heinous crime. Obviously, it is one of the heinous crime. Okay. Second,
Yes.
we can arrest any person. We are not going to arrest, but police is going to arrest that person without the warrant. Okay, obviously a heinous crime, it is coming under the means cognizable offense, so that those cases the police has the power to arrest the accused person without any warrant from the court. Okay, and another person telling about some points, like I just missed that point.
Sir, can you clear me that there is, I guess there is no bail in cognizable offense.
Yes. Look here, cognizable offense, it has been defined under CRPC. Okay, and cognizable offense, it is
Yes, sir.
defined under section 2C, where
Yes,
it
sir.
has clearly it has defined that where the police officer has the authority to arrest a person without a warrant. Okay, and that particular definition also, it is referring to the first schedule of the CRPC, which has been given after that all the section after that section, it has given the first schedule, second schedule are there. So according to the first schedule, there are category, means different categories has been mentioned, like first offense is there, like theft, whether it is cognizable or not cognizable, it has also written on that that schedule. And there also it has written whether it is bailable or non bailable. Okay, you can find those things in the first schedule. But right now, the cognizable offense, the very definition of cognizable offense is that the police officer, he has the authority to arrest the accused person or the person who has committed the crime without the warrant. Okay, this is the simple definition. And
Okay, sir.
likewise, what is non-cognizable offense? It is also defined under section 2L of CRPC. Okay, and there also they have clearly mentioned that a non-cognizable offense is an offense where the police officer has no authority to arrest any person without the warrant. Without the warrant. Okay, this is also clear. So we can find two distinct offense. First, cognizable offense. Second, non-cognizable offense. So this point is clear.
Yes,
Asif
sir.
or anyone? Yes.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
let us move to here. In the FIR, only cognizable offense means the information relating to cognizable offense. They will consider those information as first information report. Okay. So, and in the other hand, in the complaint, we can find that there is no such thing. We can give information relating to a cognizable offense, whereas we can give information regarding non-cognizable offense also. Okay, there is no limitation. We can give any kind of offense or nature of offense the information to the magistrate, and they will file a complaint. Okay. Next, when we are filing one affair, what will be the next procedure? Suppose you are going to a police officer that you have some property you have stolen, somebody has stolen your property, and you just come to the police officer or police station and you lodged one FIR. Then what will be the subsequent procedure? Obviously, after filing the FIR, which is a cognizable nature, then police will start investigation. Okay, so it is one of the duty of the police that he will investigate. So let us just know the meaning of the investigation, the very concept of investigation. Can anyone tell about the investigation? What is investigation? What we call investigation? Because it is one of the duty of the police officer, and police officer has many duties. Like recently, you can see that for the COVID reason, police are there and they are also restricting people to move here there unnecessarily. Okay, there are many duties. So it is one of the duty of the police officer to investigate. So what is the meaning of investigation? Can anyone say?
It is a
Varun?
process to get an evidence, sir.
Yes. Sorry.
It is a process to get an evidence for that crime, like that crime was happened. Like the police has a duty to get an evidence.
Yes. Yes. Anyone?
Investigation is a process of asking questions regarding the issue.
Means those fact in issue those issue are in some facts has been registered as FIR, and on those facts the police are going to ask some question. Yes, it is also true. Anyone? Any other thing?
Collect the information about the crime.
Hello.
Yes, that is
Sir,
also true. Yes.
It is the process of collecting evidence related to the crime or complaint registered.
So whether only police are police have duty to investigate, or any other person they can also investigate.
Sir, forensic
Other than
reporters.
forensic reporters they are submitting the forensic report. I think the
Yes,
forensic
sir. Yes,
person
sir.
what they will do, they will collect the that evidence, and it is also under the direction of one police officer who will be the in charge of that particular case, and under the direction of the that in charge of that case, the forensic officer, they will come and they will collect the evidence and they will make a report. Okay, that is called forensic report. Yes, any other person? Can magistrate conduct investigation?
No, sir. He can appoint any other person instead of him
Very
for the
good.
investigation.
Very good. And the very definition also mentioned in our CRPC. In 2H, you can find that section 2H, it has mentioned investigation. Okay, investigation includes all the proceeding under the court. Obviously, there are many proceedings or many direction to the police officer how to do their duty also. So it is the proceeding under the court for the collection of evidence conducted by a police officer or by any person other than a magistrate. Okay, but those person will be authorized by the magistrate on his behalf. Okay, so basically it is a proceeding where police officer or any other person, especially they are authorized to collect evidence. Collect evidence means obviously they will go to the field and they will ask the question relating to the fact. They will collect different kind of evidence, whether it is documentary or any other document, or they will collect also oral evidence like statement also, witness statement also they will collect. Okay, so this is basically investigation is the collection of evidence. Okay, but yes, after the filing of FIR, police will investigate the case. Whereas after the filing of complaint, what will happen? Obviously, after the filing of complaint, the magistrate will inquire about this thing, inquire about the case. So, what is an inquiry and what is an investigation? We can distinguish these two things. Like investigation, it is to be conducted by a police officer for collecting of evidence or any person authorized by the magistrate or on his behalf. Whereas inquiry, it is conducted by the magistrate or judge. Okay, so what is the purpose of inquiry? The very purpose of inquiry is to assess the whether that information is truth or false. Okay, the very information is the meaning of the inquiry is they will sorry, I'm just blur something. So the very purpose of inquiry is to find out the information given by the complainant is truth or false. Okay, and it has also defined under section 2G of CRPC, where it has said that every inquiry other than a trial conducted under this code by the magistrate or the court. Okay, so to distinct the inquiry from trial, we can find that in the trial, basically we are also going to see the various evidence and various argument and other things. Whereas in inquiry, particularly in one inquiry, we can find the magistrate will find whether the information given by the complainant or whether the complainant filed the complaint regarding a particular fact or commission of offense, whether that particular fact is true or false. Okay, the very purpose of inquiry is this. Am I clear for distinguishing between this complaint and FIR?
Yes,
Is there any
sir.
problem?
Sir,
Excuse me, sir.
inquiry will only be done by the magistrate, sir.
Magistrate or court. Here,
okay.
in the complaint, magistrate or the court, means the judge, they will make the inquiry. Okay,
Okay,
according
sir.
to the definition of CRPC. But when
Okay.
we are dealing with the complaint, we can say that as it is made to the magistrate, magistrate will inquire upon the facts whether it is true or false. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Sir,
Yes.
can we complain and FIR at the same time?
No.
Yes. There is two things. First, if we lodge one FIR and we will go to the magistrate and file one complaint, what will happen? What will happen? The magistrate, he will look at this thing whether it is true or false, and the simultaneously there is one investigation. So it is not suggested to file both the things, because after, when the magistrate will satisfy that there is a particular case, he will recommend the police to investigate the case. Again, the same thing is there. Okay, so it is not suggested to do this thing, and the general principle also saying that we can
Thank you, sir.
file FIR. Okay, so now come to this thing. When complaint is made and after the FIR, okay, here one point is there. After investigation, what is the procedure? Means police officer, he has made investigation, he has collected the evidence. Okay, then what he will do? Can anyone
He
answer? Yes.
So he will file a charge sheet.
Very good. If it is find that there is one offense and they will find the cause of that offense, then they will file one charge sheet, or it will be a police report. Okay, police report means there is non-disclosure of any commission of offense. That is the police report. Whereas charge sheet is here specifically mentioned that the particular crime has committed by someone mentioned in that charge sheet. Okay, then now come to these 2 points. The first FIR, after investigation, police will file one charge sheet and it will go to the magistrate. Here the complaint, here one person is filing one complaint. After the inquiry, magistrate, what he will do? Obviously, both the point will come to one particular procedure, that is called taking up cognizance. Okay, taking up cognizance. You can find this relevant provision under section 190. Okay, where it has clearly mentioned that judicial magistrate first class or judicial magistrate second class, who are specially empowered, okay, they can take cognizance on the information they will receive in 3 points. First, they will receive information first from the complainant, then they will take the cognizance. If they will receive information through the FIR, means charge sheet, then they will take the cognizance. And if they are received other than these 2 particular things, means by his own also he can take, means some information he has get, means directly he has received. So like investigation, as I said, magistrate can authorize any person to investigate. Okay, then those person will bring one report, then those report, on the basis of those report also magistrate can take cognizance. Okay, so this is the 2 point. It arrives on the particular procedure that is called taking up cognizance. So here, now let us just know the meaning of cognizance. Can anyone can anyone tell that what is cognizance? After this
Punishable
point, we will
offense.
move to the definition of complaint. Okay, just clearing this point, I am just explaining this concept. Yes, somebody is telling something.
Punishable offense, sir.
No, cognizable
Like
offense
murder.
is different. Let me clear one thing here. Cognizable offense or cognizable case, it is different thing. Whereas cognizance means magistrate will take cognizance. Okay, then it will different thing. So what is cognizance?
Sir, according to you, said, can we take that the cognizance means what are the facts he is going to take for the case,
Yes, yes,
for the offense?
yes,
The notice, legal notice.
yes. Means you are very close to the particular definition. Means we can say that there is no means codified definition of cognizance, but cognizance also defined in the dictionary also we can find the definition. So
So
there is
means
particular definition. Yes,
so
yes, please tell. Taking
taking action.
cognizance.
Yes, sir. I am
Okay.
saying that it is like judicial notice type something, like action, taking action by the magistrate.
Yes. Let me explain this thing. Means
Sir, does it mean
magistrate. Yes, yes, yes.
cognizance also means knowledge or awareness?
Yes, kind of thing. I'm just explaining all those meaning you are providing all the student. Look, here magistrate he will get what? Either he will get complaint or FIR or any other information. Then after what will do? Obviously the particular law will be in motion, so it will go to the trial. So before the trial, what the magistrate do? He will apply his judicial mind. So this is the first stage where the magistrate apply his judicial mind. He will take note of the thing and he will acknowledge that there is a particular case, and uh, it can be moved to the trial. Okay, so cognizance means taking note of particular thing or applying the judicial mind whether that particular case can be moved forward or not. Okay, and if the magistrate will find that a particular case is not disclose the commission of crime, or it is not necessary to proceed further, then what he will do, he will dismiss that particular information. He will dismiss the complaint, he will dismiss the charge sheet, or he will dismiss other information. And if he certain that it can be moved forward for the trial procedure, then he give the cognizance and he commit to the case to particular magistrate. Okay, it is also kind of notice. It is also kind of notice that there is some relevant case is there and the court can move further. Okay, am I clear this thing, or I will explain this thing?
So please explain once again.
Yes, yes. Actually, this is
Sir,
one of the important points. Yes, please.
yes, sir. This section 2D and section 200 of complaint from CRPC, sir, or IPC?
Yes, yes, CRPC. We are dealing with this criminal procedure.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, I will mention if any other code or any statutory law is there. I will mention behind that particular section. Okay. So right now we are
Okay,
dealing with. Yes, cognizance means, uh, as I mentioned that section 190, it's speaking about taking of cognizance. The magistrate can take cognizance upon particular case, whether it is coming in the form of complaint or in the form of FIR or any other information. And if he look at the particular information that is true, then they can move further, or he will commit, or he will proceed to the court so that the trial will begin. So this is the state after the investigation or inquiry or any information, and before the trial. there is one proceeding called cognizance, where the very meaning is that to applying of judicial mind first time, it is called cognizance, or we can call it as cognizance, or taking note of particular thing is called as cognizance. Okay, and I will give some case law also regarding this thing later on regarding the cognizance, so that it can be more clear. So you can just understand that this is the first stage where judicial mind will be applied. Okay, before that, in inquiry also, it is not applying of judicial mind. It is only to find out whether that particular information is true or false. Okay, but in cognizance, the magistrate will apply his judicial mind first time. Okay, so now we'll come to that proceeding of cognizance. So this is the basic distinction, and after that the proceeding will come. So I'll just explain this thing. Now let us come to the complaint. Let us understand what is the meaning of complaint and what are the essentials of the complaint. Okay, so you can find the meaning in the section 2D of the CRPC 1973. Okay, so what is the meaning of complaint? Here, complaint means any allegation made orally or in writing to a magistrate with a view to his taking action under this code, that some person, whether known or unknown, has committed an offense, but does not include a police report. This is the definition. Okay, it has also one explanation, that is a report made by a police officer in a case which discloses after investigation the commission of non-cognizable offense shall be deemed to be a complaint, and the police officer by whom such report is made shall be deemed to be the complainant. So let us discuss and let us analyze this thing. So first, what is one complaint? What is a complaint? Obviously, in the beginning of the class, I told you about this thing, that certain facts we are going to made in written or verbally, so that those facts will be a kind of plea that the court or any magistrate will take action on that particular thing. So here we can say that complaint is some allegation. Okay, any allegation, some allegation we can make orally or in writing to the magistrate. So here you can find that when we are talking about the drafting of complaint, and here the definition particularly it has said that it can be made on orally or it can be made on written. So that means there is no particular format. Okay, so there is no particular format. We can give it orally or we can give it on writing. Okay, and in the writing also we don't find any particular format, but some basic rule will be there. What will include on those basic draft we'll discuss, like basic elements should be there. Means after this we are going to deal with the element, and those basic elements should be there in the written form. Okay, so it is orally or in writing we can give. And basically when we are giving orally or in writing, we have a hope that after giving this information the magistrate will act upon those things, or he will take some action under the code. Under the code means the CRPC, means it has the procedure. So the magistrate will take some action upon those facts and they will deal. Obviously we have a hope that means any aggrieved person, he has a hope that his case will be dealt in the court, and after that he will get the justice. This is the basic hope, and with that hope we are going to file that complaint. Okay, but here we are giving the information, but the commission of offense, whether any person is committed, we know that person or we are not know, we don't know that any person has committed that crime. It has also means there is also point that some person, whether known or unknown, means the accused person, particular accused person, we know or not, it is not relevant. We have to give the information that there is one offense is committed. Okay, so this is the basic means meaning, and here it is categorically mentioned that police report will not be included as complaint. However, in the explanation you can find that, and this explanation you can read, you can find that police report can also be treated as complaint, but that police report must disclose about the commission of non-cognizable offense. So in the above, here the police report, it is not included as complaint, but in the subsequent explanation you can find that police report which disclose the commission of non-cognizable offense, then we will call the complaint. So as I discussed in the earlier, in the charge sheet, okay, police officer file one charge sheet or police report where they have mentioned that any particular cognizable offense has been committed. Okay, so that we can call each police report or charge sheet, and that police report charge sheet we cannot call as complaint. However, if there is non-cognizable offense and the police officer filed one report, then we can call it complaint. Am I clear on this particular thing, or any question you can ask?
Yes, sir.
Okay, here I will mention another thing. Nobody has asked among your students, like FIR, when we are saying that FIR, it is relating to cognizable offense. However, if someone wants to file non-cognizable offense to the police station, what will happen? Can anyone say that if you are going to file one non-cognizable offense, then what will happen? Yes, Asif. Anyone? Barun Sukla. Okay, let me tell you about this thing. Now the PPT is visible, I think.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
FIR is mentioned under
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
section. FIR is mentioned under section 154, and it is about the cognizable offense. Whereas there is another section, section 155. Okay, you can check there, and there is, it has mentioned that if any person wants to file one information to the police regarding the commission of non-cognizable offense, then also he can do that. After that, what will happen? If any person comes to the police officer, police station, and he filed one information, or he has given one information regarding non-cognizable offense, then police, obviously he will note down it, he will write it, but he cannot proceed further without the permission of the magistrate. Okay, in that case, a police officer want to seek permission from the magistrate so that he will proceed further. Proceed further means he will he will make or conduct investigation. Okay, so here you can see that police wants permission from the magistrate. Okay, after getting the permission from the magistrate, he will investigate on the case of non-cognizable offense. And obviously, after filing the report of the non-cognitive offense, it is treated as complaint because the magistrate he has given the permission on that particular thing. Okay, am I clear? Or is there ambiguity? Means any confusion you can ask openly.
So please explain once again, sir.
Yes, definitely. Yes, first thing is FIR. FIR means as we have discussed that FIR here some cognitive offense will be involved on that FIR. Means if someone wants to file one FIR, then FIR it should be a information regarding the commission of cognitive offense. But when one person wants to give information regarding the non-cognitive offense, then it will come under section 155. Okay, in that particular instances, the police will note down all the information, but it cannot be treated as FIR. However, to proceed further, the police will need some permission from the magistrate because it is non-cognitive offense. So police will need some permission from the magistrate, and after getting the permission, he can proceed further or he can make investigation. So here, after giving the permission, after magistrate will give the permission, the police will proceed further, and he will make the investigation, and he will file one report. So according to that particular thing, here explanation is there, so that after the permission of magistrate, the police will investigate the case of non-cognitive offense, and he will file one report, so that that particular report will consider as complaint, and that police officer will be deemed as complainant. Okay, am I clear now?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
sir,
Please.
sir, I wanted to ask that same question. If we complain an FIR, then what will be the consequences as they are they are at two different positions, and at what point of time they will get to know that I have done, I have taken both action on that case.
Means we are going to file FIR in
Yeah, I am
two
going to
different police
complain and
stations.
file an FIR, and when they will get to know about that I have taken both steps, and if they get to know that I have taken both steps, then what they will do to me, what
Yes.
action will be taken against me?
Obviously, first in the complaint you are going to give to the magistrate, where they specifically means there is a procedure to file one complaint. In the oath you are going to take the complaint. Okay, and in that particular point you will know that the magistrate will know that you have also filed one FIR. Okay, so the magistrate will recommend your information to the particular police that particular police station, and they will conduct the investigation. Okay,
Sir,
and here
you only told that he can carry out the inquiry from another person also. There is not mandatory that he will involve the police department.
look here, if we simultaneously put those two things, then it is not suggested. Obviously, first in the complaint you are going to write one complaint, and that complaint must be on the oath. In the section 200 you can find that it is on the oath. Okay, so if you are going to give on the oath a particular information, and subsequently you are bringing another action, then obviously in that particular thing the magistrate will obviously forward to the police officer, because it is one of the relevant case. If there is prima facie case is there, he will proceed further, but complaint it is not considered, it will not consider as complaint, because it is already, he will transfer to the police station, the relevant police station. Okay, and the it is cannot be considered as complaint. Am I clear?
Yes, sir, you are clear. Thank you.
Yes. So right now let us see. Yes, it is already 3:50. We'll discuss later class the essential ingredient. Okay. Wait, I'm downloading this. Yes, yes.
क्या बोल रहा है सर?